The number one reason you're not confident in your own skin is because you haven't accepted yourself for who you are truly, and you feel like it's not safe for you to live authentically and show that to everyone else because you might be afraid of judgment and to be afraid of being rejected. This is really holding you back. So, if you want to learn how to overcome this so that you can step into that best version of yourself, most confident version that allows you to live life fully, keep on listening. I have great, great tips for you. Hello, welcome to another episode of the Mindful Introvert podcast. This podcast helps you to get inspiration to manifest a life in alignment with your true, confident, and intuitive being. I'm Jo from mindfulintrovert.com, an inner peace and abundance coach, and my purpose here is really to help you slow down, look inwards, and create a more peaceful life by learning to trust your intuition and exploring your spirituality at a soul level. Ready to be empowered? Let's get on with the episode. Welcome to the second episode of this season. And today we are going to really focus on how to be more confident in your own skin. And we are going to start by saying some of the reasons you're not really confident, that don't allow you to really be yourself in the world, and some misconceptions about confidence as well. Those are really important to go over. And then at the end, we are going to really pinpoint some of the key aspects to build your confidence and some practical aspects that you can do starting today to be more confident. And then, oh my God, I have a bonus episode where I share a tool that I only have been sharing with my paid clients. And I really created a special bonus episode just for you to build this confidence and that you can really deploy in any occasion. You can literally carry, well, not quite literally, I'm being a little bit dramatic, but you can carry with you this tool in your pocket and you can deploy at any moment that you can really use some confidence. And it's a really, really amazing practice that you can do over and over and over, and you can build on and make that really, really strong for you. Okay, so let's go over some of the reasons that you might not feel confident in your own skin. So I would say that this lack of confidence can really create a lot of insecurity in yourself, lack of self esteem, and can hold you back, can really stop you from doing the things that you love, things and being around people that you desire, connect to things in a deeper manner because you feel maybe sometimes not good enough or not worthy of being there or doing that, or you lack knowledge, or you lack abilities, and you really fear the judgment and the rejection that you might face when you take a risk. And so your unconscious mind is really protecting you, as we spoke in the last episode, by just saying no, all of these lies, right? All of these lies of who are you to do this? Or you think, oh, people might think, who is this person think they are to be doing something like they're doing, or to saying something like they're saying, might as well just be quiet. And so a lot of imposter syndrome can really stop yourself from feeling like it's safe to speak your mind. And so when you're being completely cut off and always being judged or made fun of or gaslighted, um, when you speak your mind, you're going to learn, especially as a small child, you are going to learn that it's not safe, it's not acceptable to be sharing your mind and to be saying the things that you believe in, and that somehow what you believe in and what you feel and what you think, it's not the right thing, as if there is such thing, right? There's no absolute truths. And it's really a waste of time to be thinking black and white like this. But when you're a child, you don't really understand this. And sometimes, as young adults or even as old adults, you forget that you are not bound to any society rules, or that you're not limited by them. Okay, you're not, obviously there are laws, I'm not saying break laws or anything, but what I'm saying is, um, you don't have to do what everyone else is doing. You don't have to think the same way. You don't have to follow what your parents did, what your family did, or what they expect of you, if that is not your true path, if that's not in alignment with who you are and who you want to be and who you want to embody and your purpose in this world. So it's really important for you to understand if there is such a thing that might be holding you back, any embarrassment that you may feel when you think of certain things that you want to be sharing and you're not sharing because you wonder what people might think of you. Sometimes there is a lot of shame associated with um, wanting to do differently, and you feel guilty for not following the path that your family wanted for you, or for sometimes wanting to just evolving in relationships. You're not that interested in that person anymore, and so you just are stuck and froze in the moment because of fear. Fear is the base of a lot of our things happening unconsciously, and that fear, sometimes it's not real, most of the times it's not real. And so it's a construction that our mind um, builds so that you're protected and you don't take risks and unnecessary risks, because when you take those risks, your brain really has to spend double the energy just to think of all the possible scenarios of the unknown in order to protect you. And so when you don't take risks, when you're shy, when you're extremely introverted, when you're antisocial, when you feel a lot of anxiety and just go inwards, and just keep yourself there, not asking for help, not communicating your needs, not having those boundaries, that is when your brain is just like, oh, we're safe. But then your higher self, your unconscious mind that knows your full potential, creates a little bit of an imbalance because it's not being heard. So because it's not being heard, it keeps pushing the ego, and this higher self and your ego starts to create this fight internally, and then you judge yourself for having this internal dialogue that is so toxic and negative, and this is just a vicious cycle. So, and then anxiety happens, depression happens, a lot of potential health problems start to arise because you're not paying attention to these signals, this check your engine light type of thing in your body. And it just goes very, very in depth on problems that could stop happening if we were more aware of how things are connected. Okay, that went really deep. I wasn't. I don't think I was had the intention of going so deep in the reasons that you're really not confident in your skin. But yeah, let's move on to the misconceptions about confidence, because that's the other side of things. So when you're not confident and you're lacking that ability to really change your state into a more confident self, you see people who are confident, that you perceive to be confident, as very godlike. And you look up to them and you think, oh my God, their life is perfect, and they have everything figured out. And I just want to say that these are the misconceptions about confidence. People that seem confident, they don't necessarily are confident, and that is a very important aspect of things, because sometimes, as we were speaking last episode, is just a facade, it's just a coping mechanism that they have. And so sometimes it's not real, but that's okay. We're all here learning and experiencing life. But I just want to say that don't put your expectations so high up when it comes to confidence, on thinking, oh, my life will be perfect, then I'll have life all figured out, and I will be certain all the time, and I'll know everything. And so this is not what confidence is. Confidence is be sure of yourself and be in alignment with yourself. So have the ego and the higher self balanced out. Each of them has a moment to quote unquote speak and has a moment to shine in your life, and you pay attention to everything that is going on. And there is almost a serenity, like a little peace inside your mind when you are just certain, you are connected to your intuition. And that doesn't mean that you're arrogant or you lack humility. That's another misconception about confidence, because then when you're on the other side of not being confident, you think, oh my God, that person is so confident, is they're so cocky, they're so arrogant, they are not humble. And so this is not true. Well, most of the times, I cannot speak for all the time. Sometimes people are quite cocky, but most of the times it's a filter that you might have to think, okay, confidence means arrogance, confidence means you're not humble. So it's important to also understand if that's the case. And then sometimes we also think, oh, when we're confident, we're just thinking that we're better than everyone else and that there's a constant competition happening. When this is not true, everyone can lift and just hype each other up. And you don't need to be in competition and push other people down in order for you to be the best, because that is not being confident. That is being just a bad person that needs to do some therapy work. So a truly confident person, a truly certain person of themselves, a truly authentic person that feels good in their own skin is going to be happy for you, is going to lift you up, is going to support you, give an opportunity to shine, because they are at peace with themselves. They're not constantly criticizing themselves and judging themselves and having weird, not manageable expectations of themselves. So they are not going to project that on you. So they are really going to support you. And so these are the things to really look out for when thinking about confidence and aspiring to be more confident. Okay. And then we can go ahead and start to talk about the key aspects of being and just building this confidence. And I would like to say that um, the most important thing to me, I would say, or not, maybe not the most important, but definitely the first step would be to define confidence for you. So what it means for you to be confident, how does that look like? You can get inspiration from other people, people that you admire. And let me just go a little on a little tangent here, saying that whoever you admire, whoever you think, oh my God, that person is confident, they are so sure of themselves, they are so assertive, they can still be very kind and open-minded and be extremely confident. Those people, they have those characteristics, and you have them as well. So in order for you to recognize something, you have to have a frame of reference for that. You have to have a like a sounding board. I don't know if that's the expression or what, but you have to be a mirror for that. You need to understand the concept and have a reference within yourself to be able to recognize something. Okay. So that just means that you have that ability to be as they are and to embody the confidence as they are embodying. So the fact that you can recognize that they are whatever they are means that you have that within you as well, that sometimes has not been explored, or that you haven't yet accepted, or that you're afraid to really explore and allow yourself to feel that way. So something to be mindful of. Okay, going back to defining confidence for you. One time I was working with a client, and she said something that I started to quote that every day. I tell her, "Look, I quote you," because I just say this to everyone because it made such an amazing sense to me. She said that when she's confident, when she's feeling free, when she's just at peace with herself, the feeling of that is very similar to the one of loose fitting clothes. And so that to me really gave me an image and a sensation, a kinesthetic aspect to it, where I was just like, yeah, you know what? That is true. You get home, you take your bra off for all the ladies that wear bras, and just you put on your leggings or whatever, your loose t-shirts, your loungewear, and you're just sitting down on the sofa, just relaxing. And that is a very amazing sensation of being free and light and being just confident and comfortable, most importantly comfortable. And so it's important to explore the characteristics. And if you have a role model, if you aspire to be as confident as someone in your life or some celebrity that you see or someone, really understand the characteristics that make them confident. So, whether it is their body language, really explore how they carry themselves, how their shoulders are they more straight, how their face is, their muscles are more relaxed, are more tense. Really start to get an understanding of this. Um, and also think what thoughts they might be having that leads them to feeling confident, because that can also be something that is holding you back. Well, it cannot be, it definitely is. Is the thoughts that you're having. So what thoughts are required to be confident? What precedes confidence? What precedes the motivation to be confident? What do you need to think about in order to be confident? And this is actually a journaling prompt that you can have. You can write thoughts that elicit confidence, and you can start to have them. You can tell your brain, you can use them as affirmations, saying, you know what? I am confident. I am in the process of becoming more confident. Damn, that is an extremely good affirmation because it says that it's an active and continuous activity where you're saying, I'm in the process. So you're there and more confident. So that already has the premise that you are confident. You're just building on that and you're just becoming even more confident. So that affirmation, if you want to borrow that from me, go ahead. Is a very good one. And again, that's just the importance of language, isn't it? Because when you understand language and you understand how it has the effect it has on your unconscious mind, that then correlates to your conscious mind, oh, is magic, magic, honestly. And so the second thing, after you define what confidence means to you and really what it means to you personally, not what it means to your partner, not what it means to your friends, not what it means to your family, what it means to you. How do you want to be confident? And then after you do that, I would say really start to have healthy boundaries. And people pleasing here is a big problem because usually, I don't want to generalize, but people who lack confidence, they lack confidence to say no. And they end up doing a lot of people pleasing and they kind of lose themselves in the way. And so find a way to really get those healthy boundaries. I was reading this book that is called, let me see, I think it's The Life Changing Magic of Not Giving a Fuck or something like that. And so it's a very good book. And she has very good metaphors on how to literally just let go of some expectations of other people and sometimes your own expectations and just embrace things that truly matter for you. And that way, when you're saying yes to yourself and no to other things that are not in alignment with yourself, that is the key. You're saying yes to yourself. You're saying yes to your time, you're saying yes to your money, you're saying yes to your energy. And so it's important to have healthy boundaries. And this doesn't have to be all in one go. You don't need to start cutting people off immediately or saying no all the time. This can be gradual. And it can be a continuous process that maybe one day you clean out your following, where you're just stop following people that are not in alignment with you anymore, that cause you some sort of triggering. Maybe other times, if your boss says, "Oh, can you do some overtime? We're really needing," you say, "No, actually, I need to go home," or some other aspects that slowly you can start incorporating to have those better boundaries with yourself, and that really boosts the way you feel, indirectly, because it makes you feel like you're much more certain of yourself and assertive without being unkind. You're still just, I think, when you say yes to yourself, that's the best thing that you can do. And then the other thing that you can also, key aspect of confidence, and this is a big one, but a very important one. I think this is the key one. Accept your flaws and recognize your successes. So, really be kind to anything that you don't enjoy about yourself, and maybe things that you've been going through and that you haven't yet healed, or some unmet expectations you have, or really some failures that you might perceive as failures. I tend to never perceive as failures, because there's always learnings, but really accept everything, um, and connect to your successes. Really recognize your successes, and just understand that they matter and you need to give them light to shine. And I would say that another key aspect of building your confidence is stop comparing yourself to others. And this just means that, as I was saying, when you look up to others, it means that you really have that in you. So there's no need to think, oh, I'm never going to be like them. They're so lucky. They were born like this. No one is born confident. They build on it, they practice it. Maybe sometimes a lot of people are given the space and the time to practice this a little bit more because of their childhood. They had maybe different aspects of their childhood that allow them to be more confident, and maybe you haven't. But if that's the case, know that this is something that you build on. It's something that you can practice. It's not innate talent, okay? It's something that you can work on. You can get better and you can heal from whatever it is that might be holding you back from being confident in your own skin. And I would say that the another aspect, key aspect, is to really be better at making decisions and really stick to them. And with this, I wanted to talk about a rule that Mel Robbins created, that is the 5-second rule. And basically, she just describes this as being a tool that you can tell yourself. And she has a bunch of research backing her up on this. And your unconscious mind really accepts this really well. So basically, if you have an intuitive hit, if you say, "Oh, I'm just going to do laundry," I don't know, stupid idea, who knows? And just an example, I'm going to do laundry, but then you're sat in the sofa and you're just tired. You had a very long day. You don't really feel like doing laundry at that moment. And you're just like, oh, you start to moan and you start to, oh, there's something else I can be doing, or I'm enjoying this show, blah, blah, blah. If you give that time to your brain to do that, your brain is going to do that. You're going to procrastinate. You're going to stop doing the things that need to be done. And this, the example of the laundry is just one. It can be something that you're really looking forward to, like I don't know, maybe working on a side hustle that you want to start. It's something that you enjoy and you look up to, but look forward to, but you're just tired. It was a long day. Maybe tomorrow you have time, and your brain just starts to again protect yourself because it just wants to conserve energy. So when you're sat in the sofa on the sofa watching Netflix or whatever, your mind is just elsewhere. You're not really using it to um, do any math problems or anything. So you're just in a very meditative state. You're hypnotized basically, and your body is resting. And so it's just a way to protect yourself again. And what she has is this second 5-second rule. When you have the intuitive hit, okay, I'm going to do laundry, or I'm going to work on my business, or I'm going to the gym, and you don't allow yourself the time to have these intrusive thoughts. So you'd start counting from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You get up and go. So that can be a tool that you can use, and you can almost make it as a game, can be accountable to yourself. And I would also like to say that any decision has the potential to be the right one. So when you're struggling, you're indecisive, you're a little bit indecisive. Indecisive, is that the word? There's a little bit of a doubt, self-doubt about some potential solution, like a decision you need to make. You're between something. Just know that, just make a decision. Make a decision, because whatever happens, you will learn from it, even if it's quote unquote the wrong decision. I never believe there is such a thing, a wrong decision. To me, it's always the right one, even if it leads to, again, quote unquote, bad consequences, because you always learn from them. And is always important. And if you make that decision, it was for a reason, because again, I believe in the laws of the universe. I believe in energetic fields and things having a certain order, and if you made that decision, it was for a reason. So making better decisions and really be accountable and stick to those decisions might be a very good way for you to build your confidence. Another way you can build your confidence and just be more comfortable in your own skin is to change your state consciously. So this is a little bit more of a advanced level type of thing. But I want to say this because it's important. Maybe today is your first time listening to these concepts. Maybe it's even worth um, re-listening to this episode and coming back to it more times when you actually think that you need to build your confidence. Revisit this, because uh, this aspect of changing your state consciously, it requires awareness of your current state. Okay, because sometimes when you're just, oh, I don't feel confident, I want more confidence, and you're just in that state of self-pity, sometimes victimization, or sometimes no, sometimes you're just like, okay, I recognize that I'm lacking confidence, and I want to build on it. Whatever it is, whatever situation you're in, it's important to recognize the state that you're in, and then recognize the state that you want to have. That is a more confident state. That's why I said that is very important for you to define confidence, because sometimes people have these vague concepts that they don't know what it means, and that's why they will never get there, because it's not achievable, it's not specific, and it's just in the air. So you really need to understand the state. So you imagine you're in point A, okay, not feeling so confident. You want to go to point B, be more confident. But what does that mean? Exactly. And how do you get there? Or what? No, okay, that's not the right answer. That's not the quite the right question. How do you get there? Because that is a question for the universe. How do you get there? The question for you is, what do you need? What do I need in order to get from point A to point B? And so it's really important to recognize your point A, and to recognize, okay, in order for me to get to point B, I need maybe a little bit more courage, or I need to be a better public speaker, or I need to be more sociable, or I need to, God knows, I don't know. You'll figure it out what you need. I know that for me to feel confident, I need to feel comfortable, I need to feel safe, I need to feel some level of certainty. So I just need to know a little bit, have just enough practice for me to just go and just be by the shore instead of swimming in deep waters. So, just enough to get started, because that's another thing. You're not going to change your state immediately, and it's not going to be just a straight line from point A to B. It's going to be all curves and obstacles, and you're going to learn from it, but that's okay. So, just enjoy the journey and be there for it, because it matters and it's very worth it in the end. And not this to say that you'll always be at point B when you get to point B. Sometimes you get to point A again, but then you recognize and you already know the way. You know the shortcuts in order to get to point B. So you don't need to go through all the big roads that are all just uncomfortable to go through. You can just have a direct streamline to point B. Sometimes it has a little bit of rain in the way, but you just get your wipers and you keep going, and you know you have the clarity of where you're going. That was a weird analogy, but okay, you know what I mean, I'm sure. And I would say that another key aspect, and the last one that we are going to explore today, is to really change the things that you don't like about yourself. And this goes hand in hand with the last one of change your state consciously. And okay, let just going back to the change your state consciously. This awareness work. This is something that you can do with someone else, like you can do with a coach like me. You can do read books. You can do a lot of self-help, and you can do this work alone. But I would say just do the things you love and really motivate you, that really light you up and are in alignment with who you truly are, who your higher self thinks you are, because that really builds on these happy endorphins and make you feel good. And when you feel good, you look good. When you look good, it's just amazing, and you're just confident. You just exude this energy of amazingness, and people are attracted to you, and they want to be around you, and they want to make you have, they ask you questions, and it's just better. Okay, so just do the things you love and motivate you. And something to change your state very fast can be, oh, okay, I'm a little bit quote unquote depressed, or I'm a little bit down. So you go, you put your favorite song and you dance for 3 minutes, or you jump up and down, or you go do exercise. You change your energy. And this is another thing that, yes, you have that aspect of self-help where you're doing something cognitively and sometimes um, at a soul level or at a mind level. But then you can also use your physical aspect to change this energy and to change this state. As I was saying, do exercise, dance, just jump up and down, do something physically to change this energy. And that makes a difference. Believe me, give it a try. Okay, and that leads to changing things that you don't like about yourself. So maybe find help, read books, do courses, be proactive about it. Don't moan, just stop complaining, stop comparing to other people. Stop having these extremely high expectations that you're never going to meet, that are very up there with perfection, that are very up there with not failing ever. And people, the other day I was listening to another podcast, and they were saying people who always win, they don't learn as much as people who not always lose, but lose sometimes. It's important to also have things that don't go as you want them to go, because that way you learn. And again, with the laws of the universe, this is the contrasting law of the polarity, law of polarity. And it's extremely important for you to have polarity in your life, because in order for you to have moments of extreme confidence, you also have moments where you're shy and you're a little bit insecure and you're doubting yourself, and you have this inner dialogue that sometimes can be a little bit heavy, but then you snap out of it, because again, sometimes that intrusive thoughts is pushing you, is that check engine light that tells you, pay attention, do something, change this, pay attention to this aspect of yourself that you don't like, because it needs changing. And if there's no light, you're never going to check your engine, you're never going to change it. So polarity and contrast is very important and is going to be your friend when building confidence, because then you'll feel the confidence and you say, so this is how it feels like. Or this is how I follow a certain recipe. I create my own recipe in order to access confidence at any time that I want, instead of waiting for it to arrive. So that is the key aspects of building your confidence. And you know what? I don't think I've told you this. Did I tell you from in the beginning? Oh, I can't remember. But I have an important bonus episode that is being released at the exact same time of this episode. So uh, go and check that bonus episode, because it is going to be about it's really a guided practice on how to build confidence. So all the things that we have been talking about, now I'm giving a practical tool that you can really deploy in any occasions to where you need to feel confident. Maybe you have a job interview, maybe you have a first date, maybe. And I can tell you that in my first date with my boyfriend, I was feeling so anxious, I was feeling like I was going to throw up, I was feeling so um just weird. And if I didn't know better, and if I didn't have enough awareness, and if I didn't do enough work with myself, I would think, oh my God, this means that I shouldn't go. This is probably like my higher self protecting me from meeting this person. But because I had that awareness, and because I was able to do the work to build this confidence and to recognize the signs that mimic anxiety, I was able to go ahead, and now we're in this beautiful relationship. So, yeah, this practice is going to really help you to just have an anchoring aspect of confidence where you can just use it, have it literally. I remember I said literally in the pocket, in your pocket. It's not literally, but you can use it at any time. So go ahead and listen to that one, and I will see you on the next episode. Bye. If you are fully committed to your growth, I invite you to book a free inner peace assessment call with me, where we create an action plan to manifest a life worth living with more inner peace and self-love. And for more inspiring content, follow me on Instagram at Coach Joanna Calado and subscribe to my YouTube channel at The Intuitive Being. I will leave everything in the show notes so that you do not miss a thing. I'll see you in the next episode, and until then, slow down and trust yourself. Bye.